Okay, Jennifer. Hey. Melissa. Peru. Jennifer S. Golan. Josh. Kyle. And James. Okay. Let me check in here. Okay, I got Melissa. Okay, Golan. Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer S. And Joshua. Okay, just have to print out Golan. James, you didn't send in your speech?
My Wi-Fi down here is not great.
You
I wasn't able to upload it.
Okay, did you contact the people at IT?
No, it's not the IT, it's the Wi-Fi here.
Oh.
I'm not at home.
Uh-huh. Okay. You gonna get it to me?
I'll find a way to get it to you, yeah.
That's not the one I want to print. This is, okay, who's going to go first today?
I can probably go first.
Okay, was that Golan?
It was.
I'm printing yours now, Golan.
Perfect.
It wasn't in there when I went in earlier. Okay. Okay, we're ready for you, Golan.
Perfect. Okay, so
Wait, 1 second.
Oh.
I'll put just your picture up there. Okay, we are ready for you now.
okay, so so yeah, okay. Let me just get it. Okay, so COVID-19 has killed over 500,000 people in the United States alone. Think about that number again. More than 500,000 Americans are dead because of COVID-19. Most of us follow the CDC guidelines of wearing a mask, or even right now, double masking. But some people think that wearing a mask is more of a choice. And these irresponsible actions only make this pandemic worse for everyone else. So I'm annoyed at people. I'm annoyed by people who do not wear masks during this pandemic because they increase the death toll. They make it unfair for others who do follow protocol, and they do clog up hospitals. So people who wear masks during the pandemic saves lives because, or people who do not wear masks during the pandemic save. Oh wait, sorry. People who do not wear a mask during this pandemic are more likely to contract the coronavirus. COVID-19 is extremely contagious, and you can have it even if you don't feel ill. So an anti-masker could easily pass the virus along to the next unsuspecting person. And wearing a mask helps prevent this. A New York Times reporter published an article in October of 2020 called "The Price for Not Wearing a Mask," and in the article, they said that if many states continue to roll back the mask mandates, then the number of deaths by February 28th of 2021 could top 1 million. But if mask mandates are in place, then that would result in around 500,000 deaths by the end of February. And so the article correctly predicted that 500,000 people would be dead by February. And it just shows that how it is so tragic that so many people died, but it could have been worse. It says that at least 1 million people could have died if the mask mandates were not in place, or if people were not, and anti-maskers annoy me because they're being unfair to others. Wearing a mask doesn't only prevent an individual from contracting coronavirus, but it could also prevent them from transmitting it onto others. Not wearing a mask around others puts others at risk. So many people take precaution so they won't get it, just for someone to walk around them maskless and near them. So imagine a person who needs to take care of their elderly parents, and they take every possible precaution there is to not get COVID, and then someone walks by them maskless, and that gives that certain person the virus, who then passes it along to their elderly parents. It's just an unfair thing to do to others. So another reason for why anti-maskers or people who don't wear masks annoy me is because they can clog up hospitals. People who decide not to wear a mask are more likely to get sick with COVID, and that's just a simple fact. The more sick people, the more people are in hospitals, which puts a large strain on doctors and nurses and hospital staffs who need to take care of hundreds of patients at the same time. Reed Albson from the New York Times stated in November that despite months of planning, many of the nation's hospital systems are now slammed with a staggering swell of patients, no available beds, widening shortage of nurses and doctors, and on a single day, some hospitals have to turn away transfer requests for patients needing urgent care or incoming emergencies. So right now we need to support our hospitals and doctors, and the best way to do that is by wearing a mask. In conclusion, my biggest pet peeve right now is that people refuse to wear a mask because they increase the death toll, are unfair to others, and they clog up hospitals. Everyone should wear a mask regardless of their beliefs, political affiliation, or anything really. Many people believe that wearing a mask is a political statement. It's not a political statement, it's a health statement. So just wear the mask and save lives. Thank you.
Hello. I'm so sorry for being late. I was working, so I'm going to go back because I'm in the way.
Oh, I think you're muted. We can't hear you.
Who'd like to go next?
I'll go.
Okay. I'm glad you volunteered because I was just getting ready to pick you. You read my mind.
All right. Are you ready for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All drama is about lies. All drama is about something that's hidden. A drama starts because a situation becomes imbalanced by a lie. The lie may be something we tell each other or something we think about ourselves, but the lie imbalances a situation. If you're cheating on your wife, the repression of that puts things out of balance. Or if you're someone you think you're not and you think you should be further ahead in your job, that neurotic vision takes over your life and you're plagued by it until you're cleansed. At the end of the day, at the end of a play, the lie is revealed. The better the play, the more surprising and inevitable the lie is. Aristotle told us this. This is a quote by David Mamet, a famous screenwriter and director. I am frustrated by people who lie because it breaks trust, it is selfish, and it damages relationships. When trust is broken, no matter of the situation, dynamics have to change. When we talk about trust, we often think about our friends or our loved ones, but there's so much more to that. There's a level of honesty we expect in our everyday lives, and we probably even take it for granted. If you walk into a store and none of the price tags actually match the cost of the goods, we would have to do our shopping a lot differently. Or if you go to a cashier and they give you an incorrect amount of change, that's something we usually rely on, that we can expect to be accurate. And if it's not, it's a minor mistake that we can fix. There's an experiment created by Yuri Nizi, and it's been conducted over and over again. He's a renowned researcher, author, and professor of behavioral economics. The test was to see how different groups of people would respond to being lied to and how it would impact their behavior. So the experiment starts with a group of people who are given a certain amount of information. They have the option to relay that information accurately and gain a certain amount of money, or they can relay false information, which would give them even more money. But the hiccup is that it would take money away from other participants. So most of the people would answer very honestly until they learned that they were being lied to and in fact being cheated. And once they learned that information, their honesty would drop and more people started to lie. These types of results are consistent in several applications. In our economy, in business, organizations, we depend on a company is going to deliver a product that they promised. And when we discover that a company or an organization functions a little bit more unreputably, they become less valuable. People no longer want to do business with them. They no longer trust them with their investments. And that company ends up declining because of that. Another example is a charity hosting a fundraising event with very generous donors. Once it was discovered that the charity was using funds and donations in a manner in which they different than what they advertised, people stopped donating as much and stopped being as involved. Because once you have that lack of integrity and honesty, those companies and organizations, they fail due to the reputations that they've created. When we come down and focus a little bit more on the human aspect, the frustrating part of lying is that it is selfish. Most of the time, someone is lying to get the upper hand over someone else. The nature of the lie can be about just about anything, whether it be about money or status. If a coworker lies about you at work, it could be to make you look bad and to make themselves look better. Maybe they're trying to get that promotion or a raise that they don't necessarily deserve. Maybe someone's lying because they've made a mistake and they don't want to face the consequences. Regardless, the mistake needs to be fixed. And when someone lies about the part they played, it makes it even more difficult to resolve that conflict. Another harmful and frustrating result of lying is that it damages relationships. Life can be full of difficult decisions and obstacles to overcome. And when someone is functioning in a reality that doesn't have all of the details, they can't properly make decisions. If you're trying to choose where to live, what job to take, where to go to school, you need accurate information to properly judge these, and it's important so you can make decisions for the rest of your life. When a person is lied to in a relationship, it takes away their ability to be vulnerable and to remain honest for themselves. You can no longer work together or cooperate as a team, and this causes the relationship to fall apart. We've covered some frustrating aspects about lies and conclude that lies break trust, lies are selfish, and they damage relationships. If lying is something you often find yourself engaging in, maybe consider the harmful effects they have on people and the potential long-lasting impacts on both the present and the future relationships. American short story writer Ambrose Bierce says, "The hardest tumble a man can take is to fall over his own bluff." You're muted again.
I was kind of talking to myself, though. All right, very good. Lies, lies, lies. All right, who's next?
I'll go next.
Joshua.
Okay. Can you guys hear me correct? Because I don't know, because I was having issues before.
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Okay, perfect. So I'll get started. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So picture this. You just got a promotion at work. You come home all excited to tell your significant other. You give them the good news. However, they're not paying you any mind and they're paying attention to their phone. How do you feel? Annoyed, frustrated, sad. I am annoyed by people who use their phone during a conversation because they are inconsiderate, they waste my time, and it causes miscommunication. The first reason I'm annoyed by people who use their phone during a conversation is because it is inconsiderate. It is inconsiderate because it shows that you don't care about my feelings during the conversation. Being on the conversation during your phone shows that your phone is more important than me. According to a recent survey by USA Today, 87% of millennials say the phone never leaves their sides. Another 80% say the first thing that they do in the morning is reach for their smartphones. It is also inconsiderate because it does not show courtesy to the person during the conversation. Putting your phone on silence or turning it off can help show that you're paying attention. A nod of your head can show that you're paying attention and being courteous. I just explained the first reason. My second reason why I'm annoyed by people using their phone during a conversation is because it shows it wastes my time. Being on your phone during a conversation wastes time because it takes longer for me to get my point across. Sometimes my friends or someone I'm talking to will stop me during a conversation to check on their social media or check anything in general. Being on your phone during our conversation wastes my time because it causes me to forget. I am more likely to forget what I plan on saying. I must pause and I must wait for the other person to finish checking their phone. After they're done checking their phone or doing what they're doing, I have lost my thought at that time. I don't remember what I plan on saying until the conversation is usually over. So far, I explained to you why I'm annoyed because they waste my time and it isn't considerate. Now I will tell you um, the third reason. The third reason I'm annoyed by people who use their phone during a conversation is because it causes miscommunication. It causes miscommunication because of unintentional blindness. You can only pay attention to one thing at a time. You will miss very important details about the conversation, such as nonverbal cues that I'm giving you. It causes miscommunication because you also can't hear me because you're only paying attention to one thing. When the other person does not hear me properly, I have to repeat myself and the person can misinterpret what I'm saying. After today, you now know that my biggest pet peeve is people who are inconsiderate, waste my time, and cause miscommunication because they use their phone during a conversation. If you use your phone during a conversation, I hope you know you are not taking into consideration others' feelings and only care about yourself during that time. You are wasting your time and, most importantly, their time. This can anger, frustrate the other person, leading to miscommunication. And if you are not getting enough attention, the best way to get attention is to stop giving them yours. Next time you find yourself not paying attention to someone during a conversation, be kind and think of this. The purest form of generosity is attention.
Okay, great use of connectives, Joshua. All right. You took my advice. Who is next? You all have me smiling so far. Jennifer, you gonna go next? I thought you.
Yeah. Let's do this. And I need to share my screen at some point.
Okay, let me make you a. I have to put you in the box. Your co-host. Okay, so you are now able to share your screen.
Okay. All right. I'll share it in a minute. All right. Have you ever rushed to answer your ringing cell phone thinking it is an important call you've been waiting for? Or maybe it's a family or friend that you're excited to hear from. Then, after you stop what you're doing, run across the room, finally reach your phone, it's a robot on the other end trying to sell you some car warranty or tell you that you must press 1 or your social security number will become inactive. These relentless and fraudulent robocalls are my biggest pet peeve today. Robocalls have become relentless, bombarding people's devices at alarming rates. Consumers received a whopping 47 billion robocalls in 2018 alone. Estimates are that nearly half of them were from scammers. The robocall and scam call deluge has led many to avoid answering their phone. About 94% of those surveyed said they let unidentified incoming calls go unanswered, myself included. I actually leave my cell phone on silent all the time and just look at it when I need to use the phone. Unfortunately, if I miss a call from a loved one, I will just get back to them the next time I look at my phone instead of instantaneously, like the convenience of why the cell phone was, I don't know why it says denied, but why it was invented. Robocalls are being made from fraudulent call centers all over the world. You can easily recognize the most popular Southern Asian accent asking you for your personal information. They even take the time to come up with some impressive scams that unfortunately some people do fall for. They go as far as making the call appear like it's your bank, credit card company, or government office, according to the Federal Communications Commission. Many of the traditional scams remain tops and have more targets since many Americans are at home using their smartphones as their main communications device for work and personal calls. Take a look at this chart. You guys can see it. More than 50 billion spam calls were made to Americans in 2020. As you can see on the chart, Social Security calls were 33%, auto warranties 26.4%, which I always get the auto warranty call for the car that I no longer own, credit card scams, health insurance scams, student loan scams, I get that one too, IRS, personal banking, utility, debt forgiveness, unemployment, and since COVID happened, they even came up with COVID-related scams, home security, stimulus check scams, and gift card scams. So over 2020, these are the types of calls that were being sent out. As you've heard, robocalls have become so relentless and fraudulent, you can easily see why this is my biggest pet peeve. After hearing all this information, hopefully you won't fall for one of these scams and let these scammers use your personal information for their profit. Is it safe to answer the phone? Short answer, no. No, it's probably a robocall scammer. Next time you rush to your phone only to find out it's a robot, hang up. Don't press any keys or answer any questions.
You're muted.
I can't remember that tonight for some reason. Okay, so who's next? Jennifer A. Okay.
I'll go after Jen.
Okay.
Hold on. Are you ready for me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Imagine this. It's 2 in the morning and you just woke up from the sudden urge to use the bathroom. Without hesitation, you're running to the bathroom. You're not even bothering to turn on the lights. You sit down and plop, you sit on a cold and suspiciously wet toilet. You have just become the victim of someone who left the toilet seat up. I'm annoyed by people who leave the toilet seat up because it is unsanitary. Someone can fall and possibly injure themselves while falling into the toilet, and it is basic manners to leave the toilet seat down. The first reason that I am annoyed with people who leave the toilet seat up is because it is unsanitary. The whole reason for the toilet seat is to help avoid any unwanted splashes onto your skin, but as well to keep the toilet cleaner. While the toilet may never be completely germ-free, it will help catch any residue that will be caught on the underside so your skin won't have to touch that nasty, grimy, whatever knows what's in your toilet residue. And while the toilet seat may, as well, having the toilet seat up can increase exposure to bacteria into your air for hours. Caroline Picard from Good Housekeeping attests how children can spread bacteria around the house, spreading possible infection and sickness. And we all know children are germs to be reckoned with. The second reason that I'm annoyed with people who leave the toilet seat up is because someone can fall into the toilet and possibly injure themselves. Injuries can happen to anyone who fall into the toilet and get stuck, especially someone of a smaller frame size, such as children or petite-sized people. Claudette Sendecki from the Terra Standard recalls the story from Untold Stories of the ER, where a 60-year-old little lady was stuck in her toilet for over 18 hours, all just because her husband left the toilet seat up. Now, this could have been avoided if all her husband would have done is just put that toilet seat down. And while luckily she didn't have any major scratches or injuries, medical complications could have arose if she would have been in that toilet for any longer due to the pressure, which would cause bleeding, bruising, and we definitely don't want that. The third reason that I'm annoyed with people who leave the toilet seat up is because it is basic manners to have it down. Having the toilet seat down shows respect for any gender and any person that's going to go into the bathroom after you. It allows the future user to know that you have respected the bathroom the way that you have entered and are respecting the people that are going to go in afterwards. As well, it's just common courtesy to leave the toilet the way you approached it. So when you enter the bathroom, always ensure that the toilet, if it was down, you're leaving it down when you're coming out too. Whenever I leave the bathroom, I always ensure that it's nice and clean for the next person that's going to be using it. In conclusion, people who leave the toilet seat up annoy me because it is unsanitary. Someone could fall into the toilet and possibly injure themselves, and it is basic manners to leave the toilet seat down. If you leave the toilet seat up, you don't sit on a toilet as often as some. And so while it would be nice not have to sit on the toilet every 30 minutes, my bladder can't contain all of this water that I'm drinking throughout the day. So the action of having the toilet seat up is just simply rude, and the feeling of cold porcelain on my bare bottom is never a good thing. So next time you're finishing up in the bathroom, take the extra second to drop that toilet seat. The last thing you need is someone falling into the toilet.
Very good, Jennifer.
I made myself little note cards and I made an arrow. And so I forgot what I wrote that arrow for. And that's why I got stuck on that one section. I was like, wait.
Okay. I think you related that topic very well to the audience.
Yeah, all the boys listening, leave the toilet seat down.
They were all cracking up in the beginning. Was like, okay, she's talking about us. My husband knows after.
My brother inspired this pet peeve.
Don't even try it.
This sounded very personal.
Unfortunately, I drink way too many of these, which makes, and it's always right before I go to sleep. I always drink so much water. I know I shouldn't because then I'll be waking up 2-3 times a night because I have to go pee. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Stop.
Yeah, you got to start earlier.
I've been trying, but I feel like at nighttime, right before I go to sleep, is when I'm the most thirstiest. And I try to excuse myself from this water bottle, but it comes right back to me.
Okay, good. All right, just 2 more left. You all are doing a great job today. You're making me smile, smile, smile. All right, it's between Peru and James. You ready, Peru?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on.
Hello again.
Okay, mute yourself, please.
Come on. It is 6:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. Go get some sleep and let me get some sleep as well. Today, I would like to persuade my audience about how irritated and uncomfortable I am with roommates who like to wake up early on weekends. I get irritated with roommates who wake up early on weekends because I feel they're heartless. They have no entertainment in their lives and they spoil my weekend. Sometime or the other, you would have come across this one roommate who loves to wake up early on a weekend. First, these roommates are heartless and selfish. They're only concerned about their own selves. They want to start early. They want to get their weekend activities, cleaning, cooking, everything and done on time. Maybe they're going to get a medal or something. And they want to complete by the time maybe I would actually like to wake up. Secondly, these roommates have no entertainment in their lives. These are the people who sleep early on Friday night with a full list of activities they want to start early on Saturday morning. They probably never watched a movie late Friday night along with popcorn. They never went out with friends on Friday night to party. They would never be able to understand the fun they could have had late night with friends rather than just thinking about what needs to be done next morning. Lastly, these roommates spoil my weekend who love to wake up early. It is their activities which force me to wake up early as well. I unwillingly wake up and start my weekend activities half-heartedly. I'm not able to focus. I'm not able to have the pleasure of catching up on my sleep, which I miss on the weekdays. I wish one day these roommates who like to wake up early on weekends and irritate me with activities can understand what they're missing on. These roommates are very selfish and heartless. Since they do not have entertainment in their lives, they do not want others to enjoy. They make me angry and they spoil my weekend. Maybe they learn to enjoy their lives and let others enjoy as well. Sleep late, have fun, get wild, drive fast on empty streets, and nothing in mind but falling in love and not getting arrested. Thank you.
Okay.
I wake up at 6 on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I wake up early every day. It doesn't
I
matter.
do too.
What time I go to bed, I just always wake up the same time.
Even if I want to, I still wake up early.
I know, I try so hard. It just doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Okay, James.
I think just so you guys know, in case I like drop out of here, my computer is not charging, and I think it's about to die.
Okay.
I'll do my best to get through as much of it as I can. Wait, I mean myself again. Sorry. But tests. You gotta love them. My biggest pet peeve throughout middle school and high school was getting more than one test on the same day. Well, actually, sorry, more than two tests on the same day. Studying for two tests is stressful enough, and then when you have to study for more, it just gets to be out of control. My brother helped me inspire this one because when I left on vacation, he had 4 tests and an essay due on the same day, and he's only in 8th grade. If I had to have done that, I would have been dead. Sorry.
Okay, I think we might have lost James. He's frozen. Okay, we'll come back. Anifer,
Yes,
you ready to give your speech tonight?
that was what I was telling you on the last night when I sent you an email, but I think I'm saying you, I didn't explain you good, so I think you don't understand what I was trying to explain you.
Okay.
So, but can you please give me another opportunity? Can I please say it today if you explain me what I had to do?
Okay, so we'll talk about that after class, okay?
Okay.
All right, so looks like we lost James totally now. Okay. All right, very nicely done. I really enjoyed your speeches tonight.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi just cut out.
Okay, there you go.
I think I have like a minute or two of battery left in this thing.
Okay, all right, we're ready.
3% left. Let's go.
Okay.
In my high school, once we got through our 8th grade, they finally implemented a system so that people wouldn't have to have more than one test on the same day. More than 2 tests. I keep messing that up. More than 2 tests on the same day. After we got to high school, we had to when they implemented that, none of the teachers listened, and we continued getting more than 3 tests on a single day. Sorry. NPR stated in one of their articles that students should be taking an average of 113 standardized tests between pre-K and 12th grade. I believe that I've taken almost double than that. Having to go to school in Princeton meant that I had to go to a very competitive and very tough learning environment. Because of my learning disabilities, it made everything much harder. And
Oh. Okay, I think we lost James again. All right. He gave it a yeoman's effort. Okay. So, as I was saying before, you all did very well. You listened to my comments, and I appreciate that. And it showed. And remember, I grade you on how well you are improving. So everybody did pretty well tonight, improving very nicely. Okay, so next week is spring break. No class next week. So I want you all to have a nice, safe, enjoyable spring week. And when you come back, we're going to work on persuasion when you come back. Okay, any questions about anything? Comments?
I do, but at the end of the class.
Yes. Now, don't forget, now I forgot. Now I can't remember what I was going to tell you not to forget. But again, be safe. I will see you when you get back. And no questions. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
You're the best, Professor. I needed
Thank you
this
so
so bad
much.
right now.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Lee.